times may change if she might decide to jump on this amazing train with us. So I just told her to get on and have a listen.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. I always say you should know before you say no. So I'm happy to have you join us, Tammy. Thanks for coming on tonight.
You're so clever. All those catchy phrases.
Annie Davis made that up or something.
Well, we appreciate you all joining. I know that we have a couple of guests that may pop on late, and then we have a couple of guests on now, and we have consultants. So Kelly and I will go ahead and just share really quickly our stories and then address some of the questions that we've gotten, and then of course open it up for any other questions that we have. Kelly, do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So guys, we're really excited to have you join us tonight. My name's Kelly Hoisington. I am from Fredericksburg, Virginia. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, and together we have 3 busy teenagers, which are a lot of fun. We also have 2 dogs, and we're like adoptive mamas to lots of horses. That's my hobby and the thing that I love. But I was first introduced to Rodan and Fields by my friend Jody. She actually reached out to me about the business opportunity, and I was not interested, like not even a little. And I had every excuse in the book, but mostly it was that I was too busy and I didn't want to be that girl. I was working full-time as a reading specialist for our local elementary school. I was in graduate school. I was volunteering in like an unpaid staff position for our church. We were building a house. I mentioned the 3 busy kids, like I could keep going. There was just a lot on my plate, and I wasn't interested in adding something else unless it was like maybe a nap. That would have signed up for that. But Jody kept reaching out because what I know now is that she saw this opportunity for me before I even saw it for myself. But lo and behold, one day she posted a before and after picture that really caught my attention. And the reason it caught my attention was because I had been really struggling with bright red cheeks all the time. I looked like Rudolph or something. And I'd been to the dermatologist. I tried prescriptions. I tried everything you can name at CVS, Target, you name it, I tried it. And so I was really skeptical that Rodan and Fields would work for me. But when Jody told me about the 60-day money-back guarantee, I figured, what do I have to lose? I'm going to try it. I'll get her off my back. And then if it doesn't work, I can return it for a full refund. And if it does, then yay me. So I ordered the products as a preferred customer, which is one of our amazing programs that we have. And lo and behold, the products worked. I got great results. I started seeing results for myself in just a few days. My family and friends started noticing within a couple of weeks. And what ended up happening was that some of them were so impressed with my results that they were curious and wanted to try products themselves. And so I love my friend Jody, but I was not about to send all of my family and friends to her when I could be making a little bit of extra money myself. And so I decided to join as a consultant with really just 3 scenarios kind of running through my mind. The first was that as a consultant, I would get the deepest discount on my own personal products. I am the type of person that likes nice things, but I like them on sale with a coupon and free shipping. So the idea of getting that deepest discount was like really appealing to me. The second scenario was that I knew with just a couple of customers, I could make enough money to pay for my own personal products. So that was a win-win. And then the third scenario was, like I said, I was a teacher and I was looking to supplement my income. And so I thought if I can make a little bit of extra money, then that will be like my guilt-free spending fund. And so I joined as a consultant, I got to work, and I kind of on accident trumped my teaching salary within just a few months. And for me, that was when the light bulb really went off and I decided to work this business like a business. And so I've been doing that ever since. I was able to retire myself from my teaching career. My husband actually left his full-time job and now works from home and has his own company that he is able to do from our home. So we both work from home, which is really kind of a dream come true. Although some of my friends are like, no, my husband needs to go back to work. But we really enjoy it. And especially just being home with the kids, and during this time especially, having that freedom and that flexibility to be at home with the kids and really put my family first and work my business strategically in the nooks and crannies around our busy lives. And so I'm the type of person that always says, if the girl next door can do it, you can do it too, because there's really nothing special about me. And this business opportunity is really too good to pass up. I was thinking, Kristen, before we started, and I kind of forgot to tell you this, but I wanted to highlight the Soothe regimen because that's the product that really transformed my skin. And then also another big favorite of mine is Lash Boost, and I'll even just give y'all like a close up. We should have Ashley show us her lashes. Those of you who know Ashley, holy moly, she's got amazing lashes. But my point is that because the products work, we can then have very successful businesses. The products sell themselves, and people can have confidence in purchasing them because of that 60-day money-back guarantee. And so I want to just encourage you that if you're someone who has big dreams and you're willing to work hard, this business can work for you the same way that it's worked for me. So I'm going to turn it back over to Kristen to share her story. And I love the way we kind of play off of each other because I joined because the products worked for me. Kristen joined for a completely different reason. She joined because she was looking for a business opportunity. So Kristen, go ahead and take it away.
And I'm glad the products work.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't have a business. And it's funny that you talk about husbands. Johnny and I were just talking about that today because he's a baseball coach. And I was like, you're going to have to find something to do if this whole baseball thing is like put on hold, because like I love you and I love you being home, but it's time that you go find something. So yeah, it's allowed us so much flexibility, which has been super cool. So I'm thankful for that for sure. So I am also from the education background that, you know, Kelly mentioned her former career. Well, I was a former school counselor. So I was a school counselor in middle and elementary school. I am now a mom of two, like crazy 5 and 7-year-olds. And, you know, obviously my husband, I mentioned, is a baseball coach. So he coached in high school for a long time. And now he's with a local college here in South Carolina where we live. I first originally started this business because, again, like Kelly mentioned, I was looking for extra income. My husband was a teacher and I was a school counselor. And if you are from the education background, you know that we make it, you know, an income, but it's nothing spectacular. And I had a master's degree and he had, you know, 12 years experience, and we still were just, you know, managing to get by on some months. And God forbid we go on a vacation or I find a sale that I want to, you know, take advantage of. I joined under my sister-in-law, who is actually a good friend of Kelly, and Jody is actually my aunt who signed Kelly up. But I saw her Facebook post for a while, and to be honest with you, I just scrolled right by them. Like I didn't like or comment on them, but I was definitely reading what she was sharing. And I know a lot of people that I've spoken to, you know, we all kind of Facebook stalk some of those posts. We don't want to show interest, but yet we're still kind of intrigued, like what's going on here? And I remember just watching her skin change, which was pretty dramatic because she had like the melasma post-baby, like just sun damage everywhere, and her skin was looking really good. And then she was making money. It wasn't like an absurd amount, but she was happy and she was making money, which was important because she had actually just lost her job. And so after, I think it was like 3 or 4 months, I was like, what are you doing? Because I'm not really looking for anything, or so I thought. But I definitely was looking for a job, and I couldn't see myself. We had 2 basically options in the middle of nowhere where we lived in Virginia. It was either I would go be a bank teller or work as a waitress. And I had a 6-month-old at the time. Like those were not going to be great options for me as a full-time school counselor, then to come home, pay a babysitter, or, you know, do all that stuff while I go to another job. That just didn't make sense to me. And so after chatting with her, I realized that it was actually a business opportunity that I wanted to kind of consider, because there were a couple of things that immediately struck my attention when we had our phone call. And one of them being that it was the Doctors at Creative Proactive. So when I was 27 years old, when I joined almost 7 years ago, I knew Proactive because a lot of my friends in high school had used it, and then my sister used it, and it worked really well. And so I knew immediately that even if I didn't love or use the products, because I wasn't a major skincare junkie, I knew that a lot of people were going to use them, and they were most likely going to work on a lot of people. And then the other thing that really got me was that we didn't have to carry inventory. Like the whole business structure of Rodan & Fields was very impressive to me and was far from what I assumed or what I thought when I heard the words network marketing. Because when I heard those words, I thought of inventory like shoved in my closet or the back of my car somewhere. I heard, high fees or like certain quotas that I always had to pay or manage, or I would be like disband from the company. There were like, going to the post office, which I hate doing, still hate doing. You would never get your stuff. And just different things like that. Didn't want to handle money. Like I hate math also. I hate going to the post office, hate math. Didn't want to do returns or any of that. But what she shared with me and what I think is super impressive about what we do is that literally we just do the advertising for the company. I mean, when it comes down to it, I provide extra customer service on top of what Rodan & Fields provides. But all of that really just got me to say yes, because at the end of the day, I thought there's no reason for me to say no. The investment up front is little to none compared to what a brick and mortar business may cost. And there was just something in me that said, just go for it, because my entire life I had not done anything quite spectacular or exciting. And I just wanted to step outside my comfort zone and try something new. So when I started, my original goal was $500. And I literally remember telling my sister-in-law, if I can make 1,000, like, I don't even know what we would do. That would be insane. Well, I mean, my paycheck probably for this month is probably going to be 16 or 17 times that, which is crazy. And the fact that, I got into this business for $500 and that was going to be life-changing for us. The fact that where we are now today financially is, just incredible. So it's allowed us a lot financially, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's really given me the opportunity to kind of grow as a person. I struggled with depression for a really long time, but because of through this journey and the people that I've met and the just development from all different kinds of things, it's really encouraged me to kind of step into my best self. But then it's also allowed us to say yes to a lot in life that I never expected to come our way, but thankfully because of this business, we were able to say yes. So there's a lot of different reasons people do this business, but as Kelly encouraged you, I also encourage everyone to just think, what if? Like, if you try and you fail or you absolutely hate it, then at least you tried and But I have so many people that come to me a year or 2 or 3 years down the road and say, okay, I want to start. And goodness, I wish I would have started back when I first talked to you, because I feel like I've just missed out on all this stuff and I want to be a part of it. So I know we have a couple of guests on tonight and some of the questions we've gotten beforehand. So I'll just kind of run through them and we can maybe just both like briefly touch on them, Kelly, or I know some of them speak to us more than the other. There were some questions or concerns about not being a salesperson, and then also like addressing having no or small network. I know I can definitely relate to the no network, small network feeling, but do you have any of those two that you prefer?
Yeah, I'll take not being a salesperson for 500.
I really love this, and I get it every time. I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Oh my gosh, that was so me. I kind of briefly mentioned that I didn't want to be that girl. And that's because I had this like stereotype of what I thought network marketing people did or who they were. And it just turns out that that's not the case whatsoever. I still don't consider myself a salesperson. And it sounds kind of crazy, but really what we do is we share. We wash our face and we talk about it and we share with others about these products that have changed our skin and the skin of so many other people, and about this business that has changed our lives and so many other people's lives. And so, yeah, I definitely don't think you need to be a salesperson. I certainly came into this business with not even an ounce of sales knowledge, like none. I have learned some things along the way. I think this business lends itself very well to personal and professional development. Kristen kind of mentioned the personal development that has happened for her. I definitely experienced some professional development in regards to learning how to reach out and how to follow up and how to follow through. but you don't need to be a salesperson in order to be successful in this business. That's not a prerequisite. I was a teacher and a wife and a mother. So yeah, Kristen, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, no, I was the same. Yeah, and I would just say, just thinking about my top like 5 or 10 sales people in my organization, I don't think any of them came from a sales background, or at least, not even a corporate background. So I think that's, anyone with any background can definitely do this. And then the small network thing, that totally speaks to me too, just because, I mentioned that I struggled with depression, and I did. It was pretty severe. So I got rid of a lot of my good friendships, and it's something that really is something I still deal with today, like just walking through that. But I literally was like, I don't have any friends anymore, at least like friends that would trust me if I started messaging, them about skincare. But I was so surprised at the amount of people that I, did still have connections with, or that I had met, in my new career, the connections that they connected with me with, and so on and so on. So I was able to, not just utilize my own direct network, the people that I was already friends and family with, but with them using the products and making referrals and sharing, and really, doing this almost 7 years now. It's just, I'm always constantly, and I know Kelly shares this with her team, that we're always just looking to serve people. So I'm always trying to start, conversations with people, or compliment, or ask questions, because at the end of the day, I do think that if they don't need skincare, or they don't need a business opportunity, I may find, and I have found, some of my best, closest friends. And so there's always something that we can provide to someone or serve them with just through a conversation. People just don't have a lot of conversations anymore. And I think this business is definitely great for building relationships. So at the end of the day, it's been a great way for me to just grow my network and expand on that.
And the beautiful thing about network marketing is that you don't really actually have to know a lot of people in order to be successful. I had a very small network when I started. I had my teacher friends, my church friends, and like a few of my kids' mom friends. And so I kind of worried about that myself. Like, I'm a go big, go home kind of person. And so I was like, am I going to know enough people to be successful with this? But the beautiful thing about network marketing is that I knew a group of people who knew a whole different group of people who knew a different group of people. And so now, I've brought X amount of people into the business, but as a whole, we have like 2,500 people on my team. And I certainly don't know probably even the majority. Actually, I'm certain I don't know the majority of those people outside of this business. I've met them, and I'm so happy to have them as a part of my life now, but it didn't start out that way. It's just that, a group who knows a group who knows a group, and that kind of is almost like a domino effect.
Yeah, for sure. So I know there was another question, or someone, not really an objection or question, but just stating that really considering now, especially I think the case for a lot of people, and it's why we're seeing momentum. We're seeing a lot of product momentum, but we're also seeing a lot of momentum in just business opportunity, because people are now open to thinking about a plan B income. There are a lot of people that are still in great situations, but then there are a lot of other people who lost their jobs, or got furloughed, or have been cut back so that, their companies or hospitals can provide. So one person was just considering this as a plan B option. And I'll just speak quickly for my team, is I know for a fact several people, that have been able to supplement income that has been lost. A lot of doctors and nurses on my team that have been cut back just so that their hospitals can provide for their facilities in a way, in the numbers and masses that they need to, and that there are enough income, even if it's not what we're doing full time. It's supplementing and allowing them to continue paying their mortgage. There were so many girls on my team that were able to pay their mortgage in the last couple of months because of their Rodan and Fields income. So it's definitely a plan B, and I know that a lot of them were thankful. We never expected to have this situation when anyone joined, and so the fact that you can have that income, I know for me, just been so blessed that even in the midst of all this, we can still maintain and thrive in our current situation just because of my business. And so I think it's pretty incredible. That definitely makes people stop and think like, okay, maybe it's not so bad to have several streams of income, no matter what they are. It's just a smart thing to do and a smart investment for sure.
Yeah, I think the lesson learned is that a lot of people weren't obviously prepared for this. And so like when it comes down to you needing a plan B, if you're not prepared in advance for that, it's kind of like, oh, I wish I would have. Dre, can I share a little bit about like your hours have been cut back, right? Do you want to share, Dre? She's gonna kill me.
Wow, guys, I would have not worn my robe if I knew that you were going to put me in the spotlight here.
I'm in pajama pants. You just don't know.
You're next. Be prepared.
Yeah. So my part-time gig is actually with the University of Virginia's admission office, and I read applications for them. And so at the start of this quarantine, I get to read from home. It works perfectly. And I was able to take that position largely because of my job with Rodan and Fields. But when quarantine started and their regular full-time employees were going to work from home, they needed to be able to provide them with work to do from home, which meant that a lot of the applications that I was going to be reading, they needed to be able to provide to their full-time staff. So my hours were cut down, and now I'm out of reading season, which is normal. But what's been so amazing is that my business has grown, like skyrocketed, and it's definitely covering that loss of income there. So it's been such a blessing, and a blessing to the other women on my team, because everyone on my team is having their best month ever. I can't believe it.
I love that.
I think Ashley's on, but I don't know if she's like on, but I think she wouldn't mind if I shared. Her husband is currently out of work because of the pandemic. And so her RNF paycheck, she's a teacher. Her RNF paycheck is helping to pay the bills that otherwise, I don't know how they would make ends meet. And then Lisa just joined in April for similar reasons. Lisa, do you want to share really quickly?
Sure. Yeah, I joined at the end of April after 4 years of Diane pounding me to join.
Lovingly
and, well, yeah, right. Gently nudging Diane's way. But really the reason why I joined in was because I did need that plan B. I work in an industry, I work in the beverage industry. I am a specialist for Mount Hennessy, and we're educators, and I work with all the bars and restaurants in Northern Virginia, and they are closed. So as of April 3rd, we were furloughed, and with no end in sight. They said they're bringing us back, but we have no idea when they're bringing us back. So that's when I started talking to Diane, and I'm like, I need to have something just in case that they decide not to bring us back. So that's kind of why I took this and ran with it as soon as I joined. And it's been fun.
Yeah, and you're doing amazing things with your business. I know, it's crazy. Yeah. So awesome. I'm so glad somebody asked that question, because I think that's something that a lot of people consider, but they're just not sure. And so for us to be able to have a few examples too is really cool.
Yeah, and I know when this started, we both, and a lot of us were like, okay, we've never been in this situation before. Like I was kind of like, oh, like how's this going to go? Because we've been doing it for a while, but we've never been through a pandemic. But I mean, it was super cool to just see, like, I think it was, I don't know, Forbes or someone released it, like the beauty skincare industry was like the thriving industry during this because people are still taking care of themselves. And we've been able to see that. I mean, last month sales were incredible, and this month sales were incredible. So definitely pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's something, it's actually called the lipstick effect. And it's research that has been done that whenever there's a recession or whenever the unemployment rate is really high, that women in particular, but just people in general, tend to spend more on that beauty self-care category. And so just watching our business over the last couple of months, it's like proof of the pudding.
Yeah, for sure. Are there any other questions or guests that, Tammy, how long have both of you been using the products? So I've been using since I started, and 7 years will be in August, and I've been using the products ever since, and I love them. I guess my favorite, since Kelly shared her two favorite, I started with the Redefine regimen when I was 27 years old, and I still need the Redefine regimen today. I love that regimen, and I love Lash Boost, but Kelly already talked about Lash Boost. I love all the things. I'm like a skincare hoarder now, but Body Replenish is one of my other faves, which I've been using because my new bearded dragon is tearing up my arm.
Gosh.
I could have cleaned up today, but the products are amazing. They're
Yeah. So Tammy, I also have been in the business for almost 7 years and have been using the products ever since. I am a big Soothe user. Soothe is the regimen for sensitive skin, and I started on that regimen because I had a lot of redness in my face. I have since graduated to kind of a combination of Redefine and Soothe. So I use Redefine usually in the morning, Soothe in the morning and Redefine at night. But yeah, I mean, all of the products are truly amazing. They come with a 60-day money-back guarantee, and you will love them. Do any of the other consultants want to share like a favorite product, or we're putting them all?
I'll go.
I'll share.
I will. I'm obsessed with the multifunction eye cream and Bright Eye. Those are my two go-tos right now.
Okay, so my New Year's resolution this year was actually to start using my AMP MD roller and intensive renewing serum more religiously. And I've been rolling 3 times a week, and I have nothing on my face right now other than skincare, like my skincare products. I wash my face and put my robe on, and then I'm like, let me hop on a Zoom meeting. But I love these products. I feel like, well, I do. I use everything, but that roller, man, and the intensive renewing serum, you can see it working before your eye. It's crazy.
Your forehead looks amazing. I think Molly wanted to share. I was like, Molly's got to share because she just started and her results are awesome.
So I really love, there's 2 things I really love, and they're both new products. I love the Recharge regimen because it's simplistic. It's only 3 steps, and that 3rd step is only used in the morning. But that 3rd step blew me out of the waters. It's a skin perfecting, what is it called? Oh, the Protect and Blur sunscreen, and it really does blur your skin. There's no other word that's better for the product. I love it. It makes my skin really soft, and my husband and I are also face mask believers now. We really face masks. We just use them once a week, but my husband even has gotten to the point where he starts complaining if we've gone too long because he's like, excuse me, my skin needs this. He doesn't do a daily routine, but it's really nice for him just because it's just a little bit that he needs. So I love the face masks. They yield really good results.
Yeah, I always say that Recharge Step 3 is like a real life filter for your face. You know, sometimes you can use like the filters when you take a photo. The Recharge Step 3 kind of gives you that blurring of imperfections, but in real life, so that you don't have to use a filter because your skin is just that good.
I put it on right before this show.
No, actually. Right, we have not washed our face and used our rollers yet, but we're doing that next, thanks to your inspiration.
Any
Any other questions? Did we have another guest hop on, Kristen?
Yeah, I think my friend Kathy is on.
Hi, Kathy. Did you want to introduce her?
Sure. So Kathy is a longtime friend as well. And she's also a coworker of mine. So she works in the New York market for our company. So she wanted to just get some information as well. She's furloughed like myself. And, you know, plan Bs are always good to have in your back pocket. So she was able to jump on I know she can't talk because she's got her son there, just like I had him about 5 minutes ago, right before this call.
Hi guys.
But-
Hi Lisa. I actually unmuted. I stepped out for a second because I did want to say hi and thank you so much everyone for welcoming me, and for Lisa for you inviting me on this call. I'm really excited to learn more, and I know Lisa, I'm going to be bothering you after this Zoom or maybe tomorrow. But yes, thank you guys so much for welcoming me on this call, and I hope that this can work out. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. And Kathy, just
Thanks,
a quick statistic for you. Corporate frequently, well, not frequently anymore, but in the olden days, corporate would come out into the markets and share statistics and do training, and then we would do like a big event together. And one of our regional directors, one of the more recent times that he visited, we were talking statistics, and he shared with us that New York, and Kristen shares about this during our RF Encounter event that we do on Tuesday nights. So Kathy, if you haven't made a decision by Tuesday, then definitely join us for that event. And if you had made a decision by Tuesday, then invite your friends to join us for that event. But New York is actually one of the states that has the biggest room for growth. It has, what is it, the least amount of people who have heard about Roadian and Fields, but when asked if they'd be interested in trying it, the most amount of people who say yes, they would be interested in trying it. So just a little quick statistic for you there. It's a great market to be in for sure.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Love that.
And my guest was able to join us.
Oh, good.
Sherry, and she is a PE teacher in Spotsylvania County. She used to teach with my husband, and so she's joining us tonight just to hear a little bit more about the business because she wants to start taking care of her skin.
Good. That made me nervous. Is she at Cortland?
No.
Okay. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope she hasn't had my kids and that they've behaved themselves.
Taking care of your skin is important. I didn't think I needed to, but when I first started, I remember my principal was like, and this is really rude to ask, but she was like, "Are you pregnant?" I was like, "No." And she's like, what's your foundation?" I was like, "I'm actually not wearing any for the first time in a long time." So taking care of your skin, definitely a plus.
Yeah, I mentioned that I had a lot of redness, and the reason was because I just went so long without taking care of my skin. Like I was a bar of soap in the shower girl. And so I think I just unknowingly did a lot of damage. And so I was in my early 30s when I started using Roadian and Fields. And I was kind of like, I wish I had started when I was younger, because then I would have been able to prevent some of the damage and aging that I ended up having. But man, I'm so glad I started when I did, because I just feel like my skin obviously is a lot more healthy than it was, but also able to kind of prevent the signs of aging a little bit. I mean, we're all going to age and we can age gracefully, but just to be able to look as young as I feel. I just turned 40 yesterday and I don't feel like I look 40. So, you know, thanks, Dre. Dre is always so sweet. But yeah, taking care of your skin is something that I definitely neglected, but I'm so glad that I made the decision to do that for myself 7 years ago.
Any other questions? This was super fun.
Yeah, it was. I loved the interaction with some of the consultants and definitely with the guests too. It was fun.
Well,
All right. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, it's like almost month end, so I will say with the guests, and I know Kelly can correct me. I've been saying this so much. It's before the 31st, so before the month end, we have our consultant cashback enrollment offer, which is super exciting. So it's certain cashbacks with certain kits, and then I think it starts at $50 for the $395 kit. Is that right? Yes.
No, I think it's 25, 75, and
75, 150. I'm like, I can't remember.
Kristen has a
That's right. You're right.
Yeah, I was like, I've taken 3 BC batters today because I've just got a migraine starting. But 25, 75,
150.
That's right. In increments of 3. So that's awesome cash back, especially if you end up doing one of the bigger kits that we have. Ask your consultant to show you pictures. But if you can swing one of the bigger kits, you can get $150 back on that $9.95 kit, which is a huge savings on a ton of product. And that's definitely the kit that Kelly and I most often recommend if people can do it, just because of the samples and all the goodies that you get in there.
Yeah, and you'll also be eligible for our Fast Start bonus program, where you can earn a ridiculous amount of bonuses, up to, what is it, $6,000 in your first 6 months of business. But like Lisa, for instance, is a brand new consultant, and I think you said Molly too, right? Or
Yeah.
she's really close.
It's like 10 in volume away, so it's
Right.
really good.
So like they have both already earned or are about to earn their first bonuses. So it just goes to show you that it can be done. So congratulations, ladies.
Well, we appreciate you all joining us, consultants and guests, and we look forward to maybe seeing some of our guests on our team pages and welcoming you to all the excitement happening with our company. So again, thank you guys for joining. Thanks for Kelly for co-hosting again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all. Hope you have a good night.
See ya.
Bye-bye. And thanks to our consultants for being such good sports.
Yes. So,
Yeah.